My name is Engineer Dr. Mark Henry Rubarencia, and I happen to serve you as the chairman of Kampala branch. With me I have members of my committee. I've got Engineer Isaac Serrada, my vice. Abbott is hiding somewhere there, secretary. And other committee members, if you could very briefly stand up for recognition. Engineer Saja, Florence, and where is the hard-working Edward, our treasurer? I think he's ensuring that we'll be well looked after. So well, this is partly a social evening for networking, as well as an evening for us to gain information by people who are well gifted in those fields. Basically, what are we? UIPE Kampala branch, as in all other branches. There's 4 branches of UIPE. We really exist to bring together all engineering professionals in the country. Kampala branch covers all the country that isn't covered by Lira branch, Jinja branch, and Soroti branch. It's a very big branch. And one of our mandates is to promote the needs of members by ensuring that you're equipped with knowledge and skills to serve society. We've done this through, among others, organizing these regular social evenings last Friday of the month. And increasingly this year what we have done is we're using the social media platform, which is basically the WhatsApp platform as well as the Twitter feeds, to then choose what are the trending themes among the engineering community. Where do we need knowledge? Because ultimately when you and I speak, we carry a lot of weight because they say engineer agambie. So if what engineer agambie isn't factual and isn't solid, then we have a problem. And so one of the issues that has always come up is our city. We want to have a beautiful city. We want to have a livable city. We want to have a decongested city, but also we want to know how the city is transforming. Because it is transforming ever so incrementally. Sometimes we miss the fact that this city is much better than it was several years ago. If I could just check my phone. Yeah, I was thinking of Kampala as a livable city, and I went to the Massa Quality of Living Survey, and it talks about such a city being gauged on multiple fronts. One is the safety, education, hygiene, healthcare, culture, environment, recreation, political economic stability, public transport, yeah, we know a lot about transport in Kampala, and access to goods and services. So it's a really holistic thing, and we hope that KCCA will enlighten us on how close we are to becoming a livable city at the scales of, they talk about Sydney, they talk about Melbourne, they talk about New York. How far is Kampala, and when will we get there? Mr. Speaker, I need to say no more. I think I have set the agenda for you. You've got a very expectant audience, and I know you personally, you won't disappoint.
Thank you very much, Mr. Daziad, and we are very grateful for your sponsorship. At this juncture, we'd like to call the WETT representative, but before she comes in, I would just like to recognize the presence of our dear President, Madam Dr. Dorothy, you're welcome. The WETT Committee Chairperson, please, you're welcome.
The guest speaker for the evening, Engineer Andrew Chitaka, the Kampala Branch Committee, our President, Dr. Dorothy Okello, all protocol observed. Good evening to you all. I'll be very brief. My name is Anita Nabatanzi. I'm an electrical engineer, and I am a member of the WETT Committee. WETT is Women Engineers, Technicians and Technologists, which I'll give a few remarks later in the evening. I'll only introduce the WETT Committee members, and I'll ask members present to stand up for recognition, if that's okay. So our chairperson is presently absent. That's Engineer Dr. Sarah Semiano. To my right is Miss Aboth Yakobo. In front of me is Engineer Andrew Muhwezi. Angelina Sekamate. Yes. In absentia, Dr. Robina Kulabako, Miss Philippa Makobore, Engineer Vincent Ocho, Elizabeth Awuma, Dr. Theodora Twanjere, Engineer Ben Chemba, Engineer Kalanzi Adam, and Engineer Babire Kaga. We also have a representative from the ERB, who is Engineer Bwanga George. So those are the members behind the planning of the entire WETT.
Thank you, both evening sponsors. Without much ado, I'd like to invite our evening speaker, Engineer Kitaka. Andrew, I think all I'll say about you is you're the Director of Engineering in Kampala City Council Authority. And, okay, Capital City Authority. You know, I'm on leave. I get back to office next week, so. Yes, but please, Andrew, you're welcome.
President of the UIPE, President of the Kampala branch UIPE, members, dear UIPE colleagues, I'm really very glad to be here with you this evening to share with you what we're doing in Kampala City. I know that everyone here is a stakeholder in Kampala, being our only city. I'm sure you are all very anxious to see what we are doing, and you also want to get some words of comfort, to know which direction we are taking and when things are going to get better. My name is Andrew Chitaka. You have been introduced. I'm a civil engineer by profession. I also specialized in transportation. I am a member of the ERB. I chair the civil panel. And of course, it goes without saying that I'm a corporate member of the UIPE. So I'm part of you. Although we have not been interacting very much, but I'm really part of you, and I'm very, very happy that this is a very vibrant group. Actually, the Kampala branch, I think, is the most vibrant. You have used social media very effectively, and I'll also ensure that all the engineers in KCCA are on this social media, so that they can give you feedback on the things that we are doing there, which are of interest to you, I'm sure.
Engineer Andrew, we have been delighted today for honoring our invitation. Many of us are engineers, but we've been really ignorant about the traffic around us. We thank you for educating us, and we are saying that we are going to be your ambassadors. Some of us had resigned from the city traffic, as you heard from the different tones, the different presenters we are giving, while others had lost hope. The numbers we have here today are a clear testimony that people are eager and have been disturbed about the traffic in the city. You have met our expectations, and we would like to say that we will need you more and more. Because from your presentation, you presented very many brilliant ideas, and we would want you to come back as they are being implemented in detail. A few comments though. One, if I recall clearly, you said that the city roads are about 2,000 kilometers, and we've tarmacked about only 500. I'm just trying to estimate. And you also said that we only receive $15 million per year, and that is 15 kilometers of road per year. So if you get the 2,000 and you deduct the 500, you remain with 1,500. If you divide by 15, we honestly need 100 years to tarmac all the roads in the city. The work before you, that is a mathematical and academic calculation, but it simply says that the work that is before you is really enormous, and we really have to do a great job. As engineers, let us go back and talk to our communities. Let us not be part of the problem. Thank you very much.
The President, UIPE, Dorothy. Oh, Andrew, yes, I have another council member, so Andrew. And while at this, I think I'll give a presidential prerogative so you can make a few remarks.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity, and let me start by thanking Andrew for actually former Engineer Andrew Chitaka from KCCA. Thank you so much for that brilliant sharing that you have done with us, and also for bringing your team along, because I think this has been very enlightening. And I think, in fairness, I know our sugar levels are down, but I know the ladies have done a good job. So maybe you will allow me to first hand over the certificate, and then I say a few remarks after that, so that I don't keep you standing throughout my remarks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we thank you for really being a very good advocate of UIPE. He served on council as a student representative and really used that to become very active in his space in terms of remembering what UIPE is all about. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for that. Dr. Andrew, as you, Engineer Andrew, as you spoke, Engineer Andrew Chitaka, my academic heart really got tickled because I realized that as KCCA, you have actually access to data that our students can use to innovate and support the congestion problems of Kampala. And what I don't know is how we can get access to that data, whether in full or partially, so that people can come up with meaningful projects. Right now we are struggling to look for ideas for fourth year projects. And as you were talking about soft skills, I was reminded of what happened in Natete when you were saying you are going to have elections for the taxis. I think they were also trying to have elections or something like that to bring the groups together. So please bear that in mind. Also, when you talked about the school transport, I was reminded as a mom that I have tried the transport services, and they once delivered my son at 10 p.m. and I said, keep your money, I will not get it back from you, but you're not taking my son again. This was about mid of the term. So those are issues which we need to address as we are also looking at, okay, trying to decongest Kampala. So those kind of soft issues, I think, as engineers, are issues we need to take to heart. Having said that, let me really thank you, and also I want to thank the rest of the KCCA team that is here for coming up to back your colleague who's sharing with us. Obviously, I want to thank Kampala branch for this momentum of social evenings. I think it was said that Kampala branch is the most active. I am happy to share with you that you have a lot of competition in that regard, because actually today, Lira branch is also having their social evening, so is Soroti branch. Okay, so except maybe the social media part is not so active. Otherwise, we shall have branch wars soon, which for me will be a very good thing because we need to get from the grassroots coming up, not everything happening out here. In a very special way, also, I'd like to thank the WETT committee. This was also partly put together by them. And for those of you who are married, I'm sure you immediately saw the difference in terms of the decor of the space relative to how we have been organizing these events, the flowers and everything. I understand some people first walked in and walked out again. They thought they had gone to the wrong room. So thank you very much, WETT committee. You know, this is the end of the week. It's been a very long week, so to come into a colorful room, flowers and all, we don't take that for granted. And so I want to thank so much the team. I also want to thank in a special way, and I will also thank the men. But let me thank the ladies who have made it here. I think Kampala branch, you will agree with me. There are times you look around and there are hardly any ladies. But if you look around now, almost every table, and some have since left, have a lady on the table. I think that's a major achievement. We can't take for granted. And again, I thank the WETT committee and the branch as well for agreeing to do this together. And the ladies, now that you've come, I know the challenge of being here at this time. Let me confess, before I got active in UIPE, any meeting which was after 6, they had a standing apology from me, you know? But when you get into these spaces, and this is the time it has to be, we can find ways to work around and see what we can do. So that, you know, we also complement the men. The men are doing their part and we also do our part. And let me also thank, of course, the gentlemen for coming in here. To be very honest, when I first saw the pictures of the room, of course then it was still empty. I got so worried. I said, have these people put too many seats in place? Will we actually fill those seats? Okay? So I must also thank the gentlemen in the room for coming in and also together with the ladies, making sure that this is a very active space. So thank you all for coming. I thank our sponsors, Builders Yard, obviously. I also want to thank the Royal Academy of Engineering. That has really helped us make the WETT committee come up really firm. And so, you know, the extras that you see in the space, also thanks to the support which we have had from the Royal Academy of Engineering. And I think that, which project, by the way, is ending officially today, right? But for the ladies in the room, I think you have now seen that it can be done. Whether there is a donor or not, continue to mobilize, continue to be active, because this profession is yours just as much as it's a profession for the gentlemen. Because we were all in the same class, we all did these things, we all passed very well, so we shouldn't get out into the field and then somehow we disappear and it seems like there were no girls in the class. We were there in class, so let us also be there in the field. In terms of going forward, I thank you for promoting the CPD in Lira. Really, we want to enhance our numbers, and I'll share with you why. So if you are able to make it to Lira, second to third is the training, and then fourth is the professional tour to the dam, Karuma. And there have been some spaces and some conversations as to why are we quiet? We're not saying anything more on the cracks. Are they still there? Are they not? So we can also look at this as an opportunity to go and check and see what has happened to those cracks which caused excitement not so long ago. Dubai trip has been mentioned, but there's another trip which we also are planning for, which is the Africa Engineering Week that will be taking place from 25th to 29th September. And we would like to organize and go as a Uganda delegation. All right, I think some of you have got the email that has been circulated about the event and about the different costs. There's a full package where you pay one fee and even your accommodation, everything is sorted. But some of you may have other alternatives in terms of accommodation options. So there's also a package which is just looking at the transport so that we can move together. So let us also hear from you. The registration deadlines for that are coming up soon. And actually for that trip in particular, the Africa Engineering Week, the Prime Minister himself is very keen that Uganda is well represented, because he was quite impressed that we got a very good international delegation during the NTC. So he believes that as Ugandans, we are going to return the favor and go to Kigali in big numbers, and we'll be sharing that list with him. So it will be good that the Prime Minister himself gets to see these engineers who are very active in promoting the engineering sector in the country. Went back to the sharing that was done by Engineer Chitaka, and also why we really need to get stronger and stronger as an organization, and why I'm excited by the numbers that we see here. You are all aware about the Bubu policy, right? Yes, we have actually been approached, and I know also ERB has been approached on this matter. And they are now asking us, what are we doing to nurture and strengthen the participation of engineers in this policy, in local content? And in fact, we have even been asked to share with them lists of the different engineers and what your specializations are and all. So obviously, if they ask us for those lists, we can only give the lists of the people who have registered with us. So while for the social evenings we are open, anyone can come, we call you members and potential members. When we are sharing the lists, we can only share the lists of those people who are actually members in good standing with UIPE. So I want us to really serve as ambassadors and let us rally and get as many people to come on board, so that we take away the reason that part of why they cannot have local content or implement local content is because there are no engineers. We know that they are out there, but if we don't have you fully registered with us, then we cannot officially count you and share the records about you. There's a key issue I wanted to talk about in terms of how are we responding to the issues we find around us, okay? And there's been a lot of conversations around, why aren't we writing opinion pieces, for example, in the newspapers? Why aren't we writing policy briefs or technical papers, okay, on different issues, okay? The thing for us to get that done, I really need to hear from you. And I know some of you already even have very many issues you would want to write about. Let us know about this. Let's get together and work together to put these kind of papers out there. This is not something that council can do on its own. This is something that council will partner with you, and we get these issues written about and guided about. And I know we've even talked about some solutions for example, the inspection. How can UIPE and ERB collaborate with KCCA in terms of furthering the opportunities for really thorough inspections of buildings and other constructions? Because when these buildings come down, they don't say that KCCA. What do they say? They say the engineer. You see, so actually we are all affected by our lack of also coming up and galvanizing some action locally as UIPE. So I hear the call for this, and I'm really wanting to share this call with all our membership that we can actually do something about it, but we need to work together as a team. We need more people on board for this. I have actually picked an idea from also KCCA. We are also even happy to write certificates of recognition for you in this space. Obviously, we are also often invited for board members and things like that. That is how we get to know that, oh, by the way, so-and-so is an expert in this area. So-and-so is willing to support UIPE in this area, and we can diversify the number of people who are working with us. So that's what I thought I should share at this point. I have also been given the great honor and privilege to invite you for a cake cutting ceremony.
And as ladies, as the WETT Committee Madam President, like our mother, we have this appreciation to you. So let your remarks and guiding us and present.
Dr. Dorothy Okeno, the president of Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers, and since we're celebrating WETT, the first female president since UIPE was established in 1972. Before, you would come for the social evenings and you could count the number of ladies on one hand. Sometimes I would actually be almost like the only lady together with committee members. But now you can see that there was actually very active participation. That is what we want to do and do even more of. The social evenings are also a learning opportunity. So for example, we had this time Engineer Andrew Chitaka. So we have got to understand what are the challenges KCCA is facing. How are they looking to take and address some of these challenges?
I'd like to appeal to all the engineering professionals. There's engineers, technicians, technologists. You're out there, you graduated, no one deliberately sought you out, so you made for yourselves careers. You might be still in practice, you might be in business, you might be in politics, but no one has deliberately looked out for you to tell you that there is an organization to which you belong. I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to get engaged with the Ghana Institution of Professional Engineers. We've got a lot to offer you in the country, in the region, as well as internationally. This evening has been a social evening where we get together as members of the branch from across various jurisdictions under Kampala branch, and we listen to keynote speakers, we share insights, we meet together, we network. The whole idea is to strengthen engineers, the whole idea is to strengthen people like the students, the graduates, and also to engage with non-engineers. You have noticed in the crowd some of them.
Such events are very important for the profession because they bring together engineering professionals to share experiences, to nurture young engineers into the profession, and to promote professionalism for engineers through these associations. We are calling upon them to always exercise professionalism in their work so that we can get value for money out of the investments that government is doing and also develop our country. Thank you very much.
My name is Edward Yakuba. I'm a civil engineer by profession. And our major challenge that we've been facing apparently was congestion and traffic jams within the city. And that's why we had the engineering services to give us future plans that we have for. And we also, with the WETT community, we also were celebrating the achievements that we have made as a part of the WETT. So far we've done so many activities, and we've just found it as a special way to also appreciate our sponsors, that is the Royal Academy of Engineering, who have grown with us and helped us to grow further and improve on the commitment of ladies and grow the numbers. So that's basically why we had a social media.
My name is Angelina Selana Kita. I'm a civil structure engineer and I'm one of the committee members on the WETT project. It's a good thing that the videos and the presentations will be uploaded on the UIPE WETT channel on YouTube. So please take a moment, even if you attended, to review some of the things that were discussed and see how to apply them and see where your participation can be useful. And in future, I'd really encourage everybody to be a part of these things so that we're all represented and we all come together and achieve something better.
My name is Anita Nabatanzi. I am an electrical engineer who got enlightened. At least we got more information about what KCCA is doing on transport and plans for the future. Also, it was a success for WETT committee, for us the WETT committee, because we're glad to be a part of the event and to send out a message to people to fight for the cause of WETT. That's the women engineers, technicians and technologists.
My name is Paul. I'm training with a well-known consultant company, that's a Georgia consultant company. At the newly proposed construction of the Matano Specialized Animal Center in Mulago. Yeah, I'm glad to be with the UIPE, social evening. To a person who have never attended, actually, I think he has missed a lot. If you are an engineer or someone dealing in business, I believe you will not go as a step ahead to someone like, compared to someone who has been here, because you may think you have more of these things taught, but actually you are missing some of the ideal skills that are not taught within the engineering community that are formed within the UIPE, especially